Hi class, welcome to week 2. A couple things I want to point out to you right away. You have a new button, Team Pronunciations, and you probably saw here that you have a team introduction. And so you will be doing team pronunciations every week. This very first week, you're doing an introduction because you're introducing yourself to the team that you're going to work with. Our actual pronunciations start next week. And so here you will find a video on how to complete your pronunciations. Here is a layout of everything that is expected of you on your PowerPoint and in your pronunciations. This will be due every Wednesday by 11:59 p.m. And your responses this week, it will be welcoming your team and responding to your teammates. Beginning next week, it will be grading their pronunciations, and here's the rubric. Again, this video explains a lot of that. Here's the program that you can use to create your videos. It's what I'm using right now as we speak. And here's where you find your team. Now, I see all the teams and you will only see your team. So if we go into team 1, I want to give you an example of what you're going to see. If this is not what you see when you open up your team, please email me. But we're going to go to team pronunciations. This explains the grading. This week, when you do your team introduction and then your peer responses, I'm going to award you, if you do everything correctly, 120 points. From there, your score can only go down. So every single week, I'm going to grade your pronunciations. I'm going to look at how your team graded you. I always go through and make sure their grading is correct. And I will keep your points exactly where they are, or they would be reduced if there are errors. So when you open this, what you're going to see is all of your chapters are already set up for you. And that way, if you decide you want to work ahead, you can. Your very first one, and I'm sorry it's bottom up versus top down. I can't actually control that. Here you'll see this is the thread for your team introduction. Okay, and then so all you need to do is reply to the thread that I've created. And then everyone will also be able to reply to each other's threads. Okay, which is a little bit different. In most discussion boards, you're not replying to a thread. That will always be the case in this assignment. I want to take you into a team from last semester that did a really good job. And so let's just go. We're going to go to their chapter 5. And here you can see this is exactly what things should look like for pronunciations. There's a list of words outside. This way you don't overlap. You lose points if you overlap words. So here's a list. Here's the associated PowerPoint. That's the expectation. And then here's the video. The other thing I really like about this team is how they speak to each other. You know, great job. Remember to do this. You pronounce those really well. This is what you're going to be giving feedback on every single time. Okay, and so you can see here. Now you can actually combine these 3 things into one thread. These should not necessarily be separate threads. You can also embed your videos, as Sophia has shown us here. Okay, and so this just gives you an example of what the expectation is. Now let's close that out and come back over here. The other thing this week is that you have your first quiz. Now you have a little narrated video from me. You have a couple videos. I'm still working on CTE skills, so I'll be getting back to you on that. But you have your first quiz. If you're not sure about quiz policies, when you'll be able to see correct answers and all of that, please see my quiz policy up in course resources up here. Okay? And so also the other big thing about this week, oh, I'm going to take away that video. The other really big thing about this week is this is our first week where we have 2 due dates. Now, remember how I told you this would happen, and you will begin to see every chapter after this, every week after this, we will have 2 due dates. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you're following these due dates. Blackboard will not always tell you a correct due date. Blackboard is not what you follow. You follow the schedule that I have created for you. Okay, and so you can kind of see that from here on out. All right, well, you have a great week. and can't wait to see your introductions.